Hi everyone, welcome back. There are a couple of items I want to address here relating to the Diamond League. But the first item I want to get out of the way is from a commenter who asked me why I did not cover Sherickajackson or the other Jamaican runners. And I have been asked similar questions about that before. My response is that my channel is geared towards the American audience, and there are other YouTubers that I feel are better equipped than myself when it comes to talking about your own country's athletes. And I want to go about my channel in a slightly different way than the majority of YouTubers I see. I don't think it makes sense for me to talk about the Jamaican team unless they are racing among the Americans, and I will explain this later on. And secondly, it won't be as genuine compared to other YouTubers if I start to talk about them. There is already Halftime TV. I am subscribed to their channel and they do an excellent job covering that side of the fence. And I want our US athletes to get all that attention. Most have a second job and work in side gigs in the United States. And this is not the most profitable sport at all in America, with the exception of a few athletes. You have to train, keep your body in superhuman shape, and expect to come out under superhuman times that puts them in the 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% of 1%. You see my drift? And the cost of living in America is so bad right now. You have a much better standard of living making a quarter of your salary and living overseas in a third world country. So it makes sense for me to talk about the United States team and cheer them on as an American as much as possible. And again, there are billions of YouTubers covering the Jamaican team and their own athletes. So what value am I bringing if I am doing the same thing on a subpar level? There are so many different areas of track and field to be explored, and by early next year, I am going to create another channel focused exclusively on long distance runners and field events because that area gets so overlooked and it is extremely undervalued in my opinion as a niche. But let me know what you guys think. I think I've done a great job covering the Jamaican women already. They are already on 80% of my videos, so maybe I am missing something here. However, I do want to cover Femke Ball more as I did 2 weeks ago in this video because I think she has an amazing future ahead of her. And she is just 22 years old, which is frightening. But let me know what you think. If you guys want me to cover the Jamaican women, I can put highlights under the short clips section on YouTube. And if you guys have not planned your European trip, well, this might be the excuse that you need for next year. I am strongly considering going next year either to Qatar or Monaco. I feel that the Diamond League will get a lot more attention in 2023. Let's take a look at some numbers from the post-athletic championships events at Oregon on just NBC Sports. And I have already covered this data point, so I will quickly go to the top three. First one is Friday Sunday coverage reached 11.4 million total viewers, surpassing all previous world championships represented by NBC Sports. Second point is Sunday afternoon's coverage on NBC of 2.2 million viewers delivers the network's most watched track and field program in 18 years, excluding Olympics and US team trials. Third point, total weekend coverage on NBC averaged nearly 2 million viewers. That is the best world championships in 15 years. But let's go into your quarterly report since these companies have to be honest on what they say and released to your stakeholders. And your quarterly report was released around July 28th of this year. In your report, Comcast reported $30 billion in second quarter revenue, beating analyst estimates. Net income increased 9.2% to $3.4 billion. NBC Universal, which includes Peacock and NBC Sports, recorded an 18.7% revenue increase to $9.4 billion. Media revenue alone brought in $5.3 billion, and in my opinion, beating any analyst expectations during a recession, depending on what side of politics you are on, that is pretty good. The future is streaming services, online media, and avenues like YouTube. The money made from NBC Sports of just YouTube videos had to be unbelievable on placement ads. And you could not easily take down your clips and self-reproduce without being slapped with a copyright penalty. NBC Sports is taking even your YouTube game seriously, and ESPN2 might follow soon if they experience hype and popularity in track and field. Now, what is sad about this quarterly report briefing, it does not tell me what percentage of revenue came from the actual track and field experience. So what I'll do is try to listen into your recorded conference call so I can listen in to get that data. Because with that data, we can better understand the potential of the sport for the next several years. And a person like me, I like to plan and forecast ahead of time. So I'll try to see if I can get access to those transcripts soon, because I think looking at it from that picture will help us understand the future of the sport. And I'm going to leave both articles in the description for that one person to take a look at. And that one person might ask, well, it was in the United States, that had to have made a difference. But that person fails to understand in the internet generation, when there is 24 hours on demand streaming, that makes no difference at all. People can watch anything whenever they want on their computers or cell phones. They also don't have to travel. And I have subscribers still telling me till this day that they kept on playing that women's 4x100 meter relay over and over again on YouTube. That video is already at about 4 million views. That ranks 42 of the most watched NBC Sports video, and it's only been 2 weeks. That is crazy. The United States audience did make a big difference. So if Abby was here in the Diamond Games, I honestly feel the attention would have transferred over. And you might say, well, the Diamond League is not to be taken seriously like the Olympics. And even though that is true, I don't think that matters anymore. And okay, Oregon 2022 was not the Olympics, so what's your point? I think we are in the social media and what I call clout personality age. Almost 2 decades ago, Michael Jordan was playing in the Washington Wizards. He was great at bringing crowds, whether he played for the Wizards or for the Chicago Bulls. People came to see him regardless. The same can be said for other athletes. I feel that people don't care that it is the Olympics or Oregon 22 or whatever. If all the greats decided to run on dirt road, they would still have a huge audience. People are there to see them compete and win regardless of the venue. And if it's your favorite person, obviously. Another great example was Tiger Woods and Serena Williams during their earlier years. People didn't care about the handful of tournaments they were in. Can't even name a single tournament from the top of their head. All they cared about was seeing both of them play and compete with other competitive athletes. And my last rant, still related to this conversation, is the lack of consistency on the women's team. Some of these ladies' times were all over the place. I understand there were injuries, etc., this and that. Hey, I'm flying, I'm eating lunch, whatever. But a few of these ladies didn't even show up to run this year. You cannot build this type of team around Abby Steiner and Sydney. A strong team needs to be built around these two ladies. We saw Jennaprandini run. She at least was consistent, and from here, she can work on her time. But it's good being consistent than going backwards up and down. Also, teeteetaylor and Melissa Jefferson, I think all they need is more international races and as much experience as possible. We already see that Shellyannfraserpryce has lots and lots of experience on the international front. And I am also hoping that the United States takes these games seriously going into next year. But what comes up next after that is the 2024 Olympics. You see how time flies already? And you can't be stiff in these games or have butterflies in your stomach around the Jamaican team when it comes to individual events. Because if you look at what's coming out from the World Under 20 events on the Jamaican side, oh boy, they are getting prepared for the future. And that's all I have for this report. Have a great day. For more videos about the Diamond League, you can click on this playlist on the top right, or for other areas of track and field, click on these other playlists. Have a great day.